We'd love your thoughts on this. 657-464-7609. Of course, you can always email a voice memo from your smartphone to idoubt@dollemore.com. Let's switch to some domestic news.
I also put good news right here because I knew that coming out of this was going to be difficult and heavy. And so now let's just talk about something good for a second, okay? And then we'll get back into the hell that is the rest of the political campaign. So today, the Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, who is a Republican, he vetoed a bill that would have banned gender-affirming care for minors. And I watched his very lengthy speech, and normally we like to keep the clips at about 3 minutes on the show, but this is going to go 4 minutes because I want people to hear how much thought went into this decision. And again, this is a Republican talking, and
not a great Republican.
Yeah, and I don't want people to walk away going, wow, I really like him, just because he sounds thoughtful here.
Doing the right thing one time. If you bat 100, it's a lot different than batting 800.
Yes, but it is important to recognize when someone does the right thing.
I think so.
And this is the right thing. And so, but I do think it's important to play this because I think this is what we want elected officials to think about. We want them to go through the thought process that happened here. And he gives us a window into what his thought process was.
This bill would impact a very small number of Ohio's children. But for those children who face gender dysphoria and for their families, the consequences of this bill could not be more profound. Ultimately, I believe this is about protecting human life. Many parents have told me that their child would not have survived, would be dead today if they had not received the treatment they received from one of Ohio's children's hospitals. I've also been told by those who are now grown adults that but for this care, they would have taken their life when they were teenagers. What so many of these young people and their families have also told me is that nothing they have faced in their life could ever prepare them for this extremely tough journey. Parents are making decisions about the most precious thing in their life, their child. And none of us should underestimate the gravity and difficulty of those decisions. These are gut-wrenching decisions. These are gut-wrenching decisions that should be made by parents and should be informed by teams of doctors who are advising them. These are parents who have watched their child suffer, sometimes for years, and who have real concerns that their child may not survive to reach adulthood. While the child's care team informs their decisions, it is the parents who are living with that child who know their child better than anyone else in the world does. These are horribly, horribly difficult situations. These are crisis situations for that child and for that child's family. Families are basing their decisions on the best medical information that they can get. The decision to move forward should only be reached if the child's parents, and the medical team all agree that that is the right decision. Were I to sign House Bill 68, or were House Bill 68 to become law, Ohio would be saying that the state, that the government, knows better what is medically best for a child than the two people who love that child the most, the parents. Now, while there are rare times in the law, in other circumstances, where the state overrules the medical decisions made by the parents, I can think of no example where this is done, where it is not only against the decision of the parents, but also against the medical judgment of the treating physician and against the judgment of the treating team of medical experts. Therefore, I cannot sign this bill as it is currently written. And just a few minutes ago, I vetoed the bill.
So Jesse reminded me before this played that I may not have said that the bill was supposed to be banning gender-affirming care for minors. I think I said it, but I don't know. So that's what it was, just in case. Now that you've heard him talk for 4 minutes and already figured it out. But I thought it was a very thoughtful response. And he said that he believes that this is about protecting human life, that vetoing this bill is about protecting human life. And what a thing for a Republican to say, especially in this climate when the entire Republican Party seems to be uniting around attacking the trans community. And Republicans have a supermajority in the legislature in Ohio, so they can override this. They may push back on this. Who knows what's going to end up happening. But I thought that this was a pretty strong statement, and maybe it will move the needle for some people that admire him as a governor, admire his politics. I mean, we don't know how this thoughtful response may inform the views of people. Maybe I'm just being too hopeful.
Well, I mean, it's Ohio. And I would the only thing I would push back on again with people and encourage them to do would be don't write an entire state off because of the current political leadership. For instance, people are like, who cares about Texas? Let them burn. They created their own mess. Except for the fact that Texas is nearly 50-50 Democrat and Republican. It's getting more and more blue as time goes on. Same can be said of Ohio. Yeah, there's a supermajority of Republicans in the state legislature, but that's only because of the way the districts are drawn. Ohio is not a wildly insane conservative state. It's no Idaho. It's no Oklahoma. And even those states we shouldn't just write off because of the fact that there are good and decent people who are, by many different metrics, forced to live there. And this is good news initially for the trans community in Ohio. And thank you, Mike DeWine, for doing the right thing and the right thing for the right reasons.
Absolutely. So we'd love to know what you think about that. 657-464-7609, or you can send an email to idoubitit@dollemore.com.